Okay, so welcome to my reaction. And somebody on the subreddit said I couldn't do a good emotional review unless I was drunk. So I'm gonna prove you wrong because I am not drunk because that's silly. But anyway, all right, folks. So we got episode 70 in the bank. Dunsies. Wow. So no battle, unfortunately. I was hoping for one. I was hoping we'd get to that. But still, plenty of interesting developments to talk about. I made a little list, you know, and I'm recording on my buddy's computer, so that way I can actually, talk more in depth and everything. So nothing really on the to do with actual the characters, but Sam's rap, wow, that was the thing. But it was fun. I enjoyed it, and apparently he's really getting into. I believe it was a rap battle or bard battle with Chance. So he seems to be really coming in on his own with that, and you gotta appreciate when somebody just feels the call of the art and just really goes for it. You know. So anyway, also, and the Critical Role costumes contest. That sounds pretty dope. Um, I might try to see if I could piece something together. I don't really know what I could do. But I would encourage all you critters out there to enter this contest because I'm very excited to see what everybody comes up with. Especially since this these all these critters are so creative and everything. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Um, so we got to know more about Raishan, her history a little bit and whatnot. Kind of went God of War route there with the whole tearing down a temple and getting cursed thing. So there is that, and she is diseased. Um, but really that whole interaction did not go exactly how I thought it would have went. Um, but then like it's like well it's Vox Machina. You can't really plan for anything they do. They're very loose cannon. But Keyleth, let's talk about Keyleth real quick. My goodness. I feel like I don't know me personally, and maybe other critters do, but she's obviously the moral compass of the group and everything. But and in that regard, I think sometimes we really forget that righteous fury she has. That was pretty intense, and impressive. You know, very very cool. I mean, and see that, and that's the thing with like just even people in general. If you're nice and whatnot, and if you go out of your way to help others, and do good in the world, people kind of put you aside and don't really think much of you. Don't feel that you're much of like a threat or anything, or that you have any real power. And Keyleth gave us a very strong reminder that you don't fuck with her. You don't mess with those closest to her and those that she loves. You know, so kudos, Marisha, very very well played. Um, you know, and a bit I have to, and in that since in that other video that I responded to a person with, I, we talked about Vex's death in the past. I have to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of Keyleth at the very beginning. I found her a little annoying, but I love her now. I love all of them now. But I really do like Keyleth. For the reasons I just stated. She because I consider myself, a nice person. I try to help others. I try to do good and stuff like that. But more so like I like to be funny. I like to make jokes. I like to make people laugh and whatnot. And in doing that, I don't get taken serious a lot. If it's one of those things. Um, so so now, I mean, I can kind of see where she's coming from, in that sense, and it's more shame on me for not really recognizing or seeing that, the power in her, because she's kicked so much ass, so much ass. I mean, even in the couple episodes, she just was like, I'm going to turn into an earth elemental and smash through an entire ship, pretty much, and lay waste to all who deem be in my path, you know. So, shh, shh. Yes, Geek and Sundry went live. They're starting the the next playthrough, I suppose. Let's put that on silence. There we go. There we go. Shh, my pretty baby. Okay. So yeah. I mean, it was a bit of a reminder. It's like don't put baby Keyleth in a corner. Um, and but they managed to get through the discussions and everything, and I guess I thought they would come out with a more solid arrangement, because I didn't really think Raishan would have gone for anything less. But it makes sense that she did, because she needs them. She needs Vox Machina, because she's dying, and she can't take on um Thordak alone. You know, so that meeting was very cool, and gosh, I love watching Taliesin Percy work his royalty politics. Oh, when he goes into that mode, it's so just beautiful to watch, so delicious. But we'll talk about that later. Okay, yeah, Keyleth off the change, and yes, but in saying, I didn't really like her that much, getting to know her, but also like she didn't start off that way, as a Spitfire in a sense, um, and even she's not even really a Spitfire, because that kind of leads to the thought of a loose cannon. She's always very controlled, but when she's in a corner, or she's staring at somebody that's murdered her friends and family, she the fangs come out, the claws, you know, just she turns animalistic, and seeing that growth of her character pattern, or her character's growth, is has been really really cool, you know, and and I was watching episode one with my friend the other day, my roommate Dan. He's kind of started watching it, and just even like, not, I mean, yes, the characters have grown and everything, and we can all attest to that. But it's been interesting to see like the changes the cast themselves have made. It's very interesting, very cool. Because they've gone through stuff. They changed styles and everything, and looks. So it's like we're kind of growing as a group together. Because they were definitely very scared or nervous in presenting us with their story and their characters. But anyway, but yes, with Percy being the voice of reason and everything, and trying to match wits with Raishan, always great to watch. But we'll talk about that later when we discuss his private meeting with her. Let's see. Yeah. They. Okay. Well, I know we're not gonna talk about that. Sorry. A little bit of pressure. Because real quick, thank you everybody that's watched it and liked my original reaction, and to the person that shared it on the Critical Role subreddit. Let's just talk about that real quick. I did not expect this to garner this much attention. Like I've said in some of the comments and everything, and when I first posted the video, I was really just so moved, and my love for the show. It was therapeutic for me, really, in a way.
just get my thoughts out there, and also I wanted to encourage anybody else to see the show and watch it if they stumbled across my video. But a couple people said they wanted another, and some people were like, "You should live tweet," and gosh darn it, you critters, you're just so lovely, so very supportive, and so thank you for that, and I hope you like this one. Uh, but I made notes and everything because I didn't want to disappoint you guys. But anyway, let's continue, shall we? Blushing, so embarrassing. Oh yeah, um, Percy, literally holding on to Keyleth through that discussion, you know, because it's again showing that group dynamic that they've developed, Percy and Keyleth friendship, and then even Grog trying to be like a voice of reason to Keyleth, just be like, look, we'll take care of her eventually, or whatever and whatnot. And Travis made the reaction, but I feel like it was a little bit groggy as well when she just like and went after Raisha and everything. He's like, oh damn, like, oh, this girl, she's, so it's nice to see even the characters slash the cast are like surprised. The fact that they can surprise each other sometimes with their reactions or their plan of actions and their actions in general. When Sam decided to try and mind meld in a race. Gosh, I am so bad at this. What was her Lady Kima's memories, and she walloped him a good one there. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he's trying it," you know. So yeah. Um, Grog took the reins, and lightening the mood in the conversation there with everybody, you know. So and again, that's, I'm sorry, this is so scatterbrained, but bear with me. Um, e- Everybody tries to take care of the group in their own ways. They feel the tension. Last week it was Percy really doing most of or a lot of the comedy relief. And Vax stacking the things on an unconscious Pike, and Grog giving what's his name, the hard alcohol. There was a moment of levity, and it was very much a group thing then. But with this, starting out so like and intense, Grog kind of took it upon himself to kind of lighten the mood and crack a few jokes and whatnot. With the whole stupid angle. And let's where is that? Where is that? Because I made a note about that. I wonder, like, so Grog does stuff like that. He'll just get real serious real quick, and he'll make dumb jokes about, with his dumbness and everything. And yes, he is dumb, right? His stats say he is dumb. But I wonder, like, it seems like he breaks character sometimes when he becomes like the word of reason or comes up with a good idea or something like that. But it's also kind of in the die rolls. So it's interesting to me. Like, is he learning or just Grog with being in this group, so tied with various gods, you could say, or just the intense magnitude of everything, that he just gets these nice little moments of brilliance that just kind of come to him, because, oh God, there's a saying that goes along with that. Something is right. Oh, a slow clock is wrong half the time, or something. Whatever. Anyway, I really like that as Grog's characters, because I like to believe he just has like these random moments of like brilliance, even if it's not tied to a die roll. I feel like he's you could try and say he's breaking character, but I don't think it's that. I'd rather lean to his moments of brilliance and the fact he is surrounded by some very intelligent people, some crafty people, some schemy people, and everything like that, and he helps, but he also does hinder at times, like in his famous bartering moments in the city of Vasselheim, which just really tore Vexalia just in her golden soul of money, really hurt her bad. But I like that about Grog's character because I feel like he was just like he just played straight dumb before. I feel like was the case, and now with these moments of brilliance, and even just like with what he did with Keyleth, it was more like compassion, and understanding, and that doesn't necessarily have to be intelligence. More so, it could be just because as you progress as a human being, or Goliath, in a group setting, you're going to pick up on social cues and things like that. So I like to think that's where he's getting that stuff. Um, let's see. Oh yes, but also, for as hard fought, especially as the last battle was, you know, um, according to Raishan, they've been making waves. Like, Thordak was concerned enough to have her be in the mix and try to keep tabs on them and everything, you know, and so even though they may feel a little fly by night or whatever, I would say their instincts are serving them well. One in the fact that they're still alive, and the second Chroma Conclave dragon is dead. Um, they're doing pretty good. They're not being ignored. They're making waves and everything. So keep doing what you're doing, Vox Machina. And Raishan's story was pretty cool. And gosh dang it, Matt Mercer. Ugh. Just wait, did he? This is the thing. This is the question. Did he come up with this week, or has he had Raishan? He's probably had Raishan's story sitting in his back pocket the whole time. But because he's Matt Mercer, he's just a genius. What are you gonna do? But you got to tip your hat to him. Very well done and everything. Just like I said, God of War curse type thing on her and whatnot. I mean, that was really kind of the key, I think, to Vox Machina's reaction to Raishan is the fact that she was diseased, and I know there was a lot of like uh, circumspect or just um, people coming up with all kinds of reasons of why Raishan might have been trying to deal with Vox Machina and everything. Didn't see a disease coming. Didn't see you dying, but it makes sense. They're vain and they look out for themselves. So, yeah, very very well presented and played. The disease deceiver, I believe, is what we eventually found out was her handle, I guess. So, yeah, very cool, very cool. Um, oh, and we have to talk about Percy trying to, as he said, Percy doesn't recommend lists to Keyleth, I mean that was a beautiful moment that we can't really just glaze over there. It was very much like Keyleth has always been trying to, redeem Percy and whatnot, and with this death, Keyleth was the one that really brought him back and convinced him to come back and everything. So it was interesting to see that reaction or that interaction. Keyleth really feeling the burning hatred and need for vengeance, and Percy was the one to be like, look, you gotta. It's not as fun as you might think it might be at the end. So it was an interesting role reversal there that that obviously wasn't planned, but there you have it. It's That's what it was, and and for me, I see it as, well, one, Keyleth got an understanding into why Percy was the way he was, and Percy just, for me, took a little step towards redemption, towards becoming the better man he's wanted to be, you know. So that's very exciting. It's nice. Let's see. Yep, yep. The get out and vote thing, that was pretty clever. Also very true. Go do it. Go vote. Register. I'm registered. I recently moved in like the last couple months, and I didn't change my address for voting until recently, but I did it online, and it was super easy. So do that. Please vote. Okay. Oh, yes, Vax and Keyless, a little moment together. It was small, but it's nice to see their little moments that they get to have together. Much more less cringy than when it first was, or not cringy. That's not a good way to say it. Just rough to watch in the sense that they were like, they were flirting ish or whatever, and it was starting to blossom, and then the whole, his sister died, and he sold his soul and all that, which I talked about in the response to Merlin 7L video I have on here. Talked about that a little bit, but anyway, um, so it's been nice to see it grow. It was a very sweet gesture, even though, yes, he did have to get rid of a thing to attune with the dagger. I can't remember its name right now. I want to say Cinder, but I know that's wrong. But anyway, um, so yeah, and also, like, it wasn't even smooth. It was a little awkward, and again, that just lends to the realism and the just the acting that they do. You know, it's a very, like, kind of realistic, like, relationship. Um, he gives her the thing, the cloak, and she's a little awkward. 'Cause she's still heated from the discussion with Raishan and everything. But it's nice to see that they keep it, like, very, like, real, and and with it being improv and not scripted and stuff like that, their reactions to each other's words and everything is very real, and they don't know what the other person's thinking, like in a real relationship, because God knows those are so tough sometimes, because you don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to piss the other person off, and all that stuff. It's very much a game of chess sometimes, um, but very sweet, and it's not sappy and just, like, overdone and like, oh my dear, no, I love you so much. They hardly say the words because they know and everything. And obviously Vax is still, like, he's all in. But this last fight, again, I feel like shook him to the very real possibility. Well, like he said himself, the very real possibility that anybody could die, because she went down and then she got back up. But she only went unconscious. But whatever, she could have died, and that's also one of the reasons why he gave her the cloak and everything. But the man is just so surrounded by death. Like, the whole party is surrounded by death in a way, sure, but, like, he's on the beck and call of a goddess of death. So there's just all the implications there and whatnot, and he knows he's important to her, but the way Keyleth reacted in that discussion and everything, she's very duty bound, and honor bound, and a woman of her word. To where I think Vax knows that, like, no matter what he does, she's going to continue her path with the Ashari and become their leader. Um, and he's probably dealing with that, you know? Because that's kind of tough, you know? Um, I mean, he doesn't really have any real plans besides the next day, I think. You know, he's not like, oh, after this, I'm going to open a training or a mercenary group and whatever and continue doing that. He has no idea. Keyleth has a plan, though. And as much as he wants to be a part of it, one, he knows he might die and not be a part of it. Two, actually, now that I think about it, the Raven Queen might not be done with him after all this is said and done. Um, because he's her champion. He, she might have him go after a crazy warlock, necromancer guy that's stirring up trouble, you know, or a band of vampires gaining power or something like that, you know, because she has her own set of rules and things she doesn't want in the realm. Huh. It's almost not quite, not nearly as bad, but it's kind of like on what was that? Pirates of the Caribbean 2, where Orlando Bloom became Davy Jones and Miss Swan, Elizabeth Swan, ended up just hanging out on an island when and would only see him every once in a while. It's kind of like that, you know. But Keyleth's doing her own badass shit and Vax has to go off and do his, you know. So there might not actually be like the happiest of endings for this couple, and I think Vax might see that, and Keyleth too. But I don't think she doesn't like the gods, so I don't think she's really spent much time thinking of the complications of Vax being indebted to this god. Yes. Interesting. Just thought of that. Okay. Critters. You guys were right about using the gate for the bait and everything like that, so obviously. So that'll be cool to see how that works out. I'm so like, but it sounds like they have enough. They're gonna have enough buffs in place to make sure that Scanlan gets the spell off, because Tal'Dorei help us if this does not work. I don't know how, what will happen if it doesn't. Even you and her Matt at the end of the episode was like, please, you please get this off. It would be so bad. If the DM is imploring you to not fuck this up, you can't fuck this up. So, fingers crossed, we'll see how this goes. A little more stress for the rest of our week to see how it all comes out, but that's good storytelling. Let's see. Yep, got that. Garg and Scanlan, they're like the best comedy duo in this group. And I made a little joke on Twitter, so I'll share with you just because why not? I feel like if ever there was going to be a spin-off of Critical Role, it would involve Grog and Scanlan and be called Hustle and Muscle. We'll just let that awkward pause go for a bit. And then, moving on. Oh! And of course we must mention Lord Poobah the Doink of This and That. Just a nice little addition of comedy into the already beefy sandwich. Burrito, take your pick, of Vox Machina's complexities and everything. Because Grog may not be the smartest guy in the world, but he is not going to forget that he is titled. So, that's fun. And clever on Percy's part, because Grog had him. Grog had him on the ropes for a while, and then Percy's mind finally clicked and came up with a solution to his problem. And let that be a lesson to you. Sometimes brains can be brawn. Interesting point brought up at Keyleth is the solstices. I have no idea what that might be like, but I'm sure that will be mentioned in the subreddit. And if you are not a member of the subreddit, you should go check it out, because a lot of people talk about a lot of cool stuff and theories and share fan art and whatnot, and sometimes videos of people doing reactions. So that's cool. You should go check it out. I think she might be onto something though, because there is still like the marble of death that we have no idea what it's there for, or who it's for, really. I mean, Vecna, sure, but like, is it still like? It's a very big unknown that's going on, and sometimes unknowns can blow up in your face, like a certain lady did to Vox Machina. So definitely want to make sure we keep an eye on all the bases and everything that's going on there. Ooh, it's 30 minutes. We should wrap this up. Kynan is going to be the first captain of the Musketeers, maybe. So that's cool that they found a good job for him, and the fact that he's picking up things from Percy really quick. I think he's out of the woods of massive depression, not fully out of depression, because that takes a long time and can stick with you for a long time, and not something to be taken lightly. But it's I'm really glad Vax is he's not only trying to redeem Kynan, but he does feel very, very responsible for what Kynan turned out to be, even if you agree that he should be or not. It's good to see that, because honestly, the moral compass Keyleth would rather have just seen him die. I feel like I don't think she was very interested in his redemption, so it's nice to see that she doesn't always have to do that job, and that Vax took it upon himself to steer the boy right and give him a new purpose and path of redemption. Because Lord knows we could all use some redemption from time to time. Lady Kima. That was pretty funny. The dangers of speaking in character, whether you know it or not, showed itself. Definitely a moment of brevity and hilarity. And you're just like, Fox, Machina, what are you guys doing? But it seems to worked out. It was very funny, and again, it's like these, as Lady Kima said, these dumb idiots, these goofballs, these dummies. Sometimes they are the saviors of Taldore, and yet they can just f it up so bad sometimes. And that's why this show is so good, because it's you make those mistakes sometimes. They're the heroes, but they're so human. You don't have to have these big giant arcs of he's learning hubris, and he got so boastful and blah blah blah. Like TV and movies sometimes, they only get 2 hours or like every half hour or whatever. But even like long series episodes on TV and stuff, they focus just so singularly on like character traits and stuff. Sometimes it's great to just see, like, with the improv and whatnot, and making mistakes on the fly in a very human way makes these characters so human and relatable. It's one of the things that makes it so identifiable with, relatable too. So that was good internet TV right there with the Lady Kima. And I'm very excited too, because like they're down pike like most of the time, and yeah, they've had, I mean, they've been using the people to be in Whitestone and stuff like that. But I'm excited that she's gone with them on this adventure, because it's like, yeah, you guys have people that kick ass. Let them come with sometimes, I mean, Lady Kima could have come with them to God, Marquise, Marquise, we'll say. But I understand why they don't, because like she's an unknown element to anybody but Matt. The party doesn't really know exactly how she's going to react to things, obviously, that we saw in this episode. But I like the idea of them bringing along NPCs, instead of their core group, it'll add a nice little bit of flavor, and I feel like Matt gets a kick out of it because Lady Kima is his character in a sense. So and there is a battle, and normally it's just like other people or enemies that he gets to play, but with bringing in Lady Kima, they're letting Matt fight with them, you know, and I think that's a lot of fun, and I think Matt probably enjoys that a lot, getting to actually fight alongside his friends, with a character and everything. So yeah, that's cool. They should, yeah, have fun, Matt. Hope you enjoy it. um, um, oh yeah, and just kind of learning the gun, but also being apparently a very good rogue. He's becoming a gunslinger, stabby rogue multi-class, which sounds pretty badass. I'd like to see the homebrew of that one. Um, yep. Oh, and Percy's one-on-one with Raishan was so delicious. Just, like, I think Percy is my favorite just because he puts forth such intelligence, and and his dialogue is always so crisp, and just he likes to use big words and everything, and just his mannerism. I think I really just like I'm attracted to that character, like mannerisms and posture and everything. It's very very appealing to watch because everybody else is kind of loosey goosey in a sense, or dark and brooding, or just goofy and stuff like that. I like what Percy brings to the table. I like somebody that matches wits with a dragon, and everything. And the line he used, God, it gave me goosebumps. What did he say? I think we're more of a mind when we're alone, or something like that. Being like, yeah, I get you, and you get me. Like when we're talking one on one, which is very cool. But then also when he ran off and was just like, oh my god, I can't believe I got away with that, was also very cool. Um, but yes, Taliesin, that's awesome. And you can tell, I mean, I'm sure other people have noticed, but you can tell when Talison's really, really getting into it, because if he's holding a die or something like that, or even just like drinking, but like when he's holding something, his hand will shake, and you're just like, oh, he's so into it. He's just running on and drilling it, and it's nice. It's nice. It's like, there we go. We got 100% Percy. When that's going on, it's 100% Percy every time. The Sentry made an appearance. I think I love the Sentry. He's adorable. He slipped a little bit into McCree, which I thought was pretty cool, because I like McCree. He's a cool guy. But anyway, but yeah, good exchanges, and a little telling on Matt's part when he said the Sentry knows a lot. You just have to ask the right questions. I don't think Keyleth has quite figured out the right questions yet, but Marisha, Keyleth, keep talking to the Sentry. I think everybody enjoys it when you do, and I'm sure Matt enjoys it as well. With his McConaughey-esque surfer dude slash Southern gentlemanness as a character, whatever. It's great. It's great. Sundry's good TV. Just it's good, and it's good brevity. And one day you will ask those right questions. I don't doubt it in my mind. Percy's misperception. Apparently, he thinks he knows what it was. I think it was Raishan, obviously. As a critter coming through with him, maybe, as a little something something. But either way, quickly went to the mansion. Because, I mean, even if he didn't, like, perceive what it was, like, he felt something. That's, like, what the perception check is. He at least goes, like, as he walked through and the thing closed behind him, he's like, what? Like, I felt something, And so very, very wise to just run into the mansion, because if you're not invited, you can't come in. And yeah, I guess that'll do it. Obviously, much longer than the 8 to 10 minutes that was before, but I made notes and wanted to cover the whole episode in detail-ish with you guys. If you enjoyed it, let me know like you've been doing with the last two that I did, and if it's too long, let me know. If I should like chop them up into pieces for you guys, let me know, or whatever. Um, I live tweeted through tonight's episode. Somebody was like, "You should do that." And I was like, "Okay." So yeah, any thoughts, suggestions, or whatever you guys have for me on this? I'll gladly take it into consideration. You guys have been awesome. Again, thank you guys so much that have shared it and liked it and left comments. I love reading them, and everything. This is the last thing I thought. I didn't expect it to blow up as much as it did. You guys are all wonderful. I love every single one of you critters. This is one of the greatest communities that I've seen just grow without being a part of, and to kind of and to finally be a part of it. Just giving my opinions on the many adventures of Vox Machina and the inner workings of them. I'm more than gladly to do, and talk with you guys about. So, thanks. And oh yeah, is it Thursday yet?